Hello friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 27th of November and we are going to deal with three very important topics which are in news. The first is India's first AI data bank has been launched to boost security of the country, specifically data security. How will this AI data bank boost security? It will increase the surveillance capabilities of the investigation agency. It will make the investigation done by the investigative agencies a bit easier. How? With the usage of this technology, they can analyze large data sets like, social media websites, your digital footprints, or I would say Internet of Things and such like. So the anti-social elements or the anti-state elements, you know, all their activities can be tracked online by using this tool. And that is how, surveillance will be better and law enforcement will improve. Next is Climate Change Performance Index. Now, this index was released in the COP29, which is happening in Azerbaijan, Baku. India last year was on the 8th position on this index. This year, India is positioned at 10th, although it is in top 10, but yes, it has slipped down 2 positions. This high performance of India can be credited to the low per capita emissions from India, and second, the efforts which have been undertaken by the government of India with respect to its green transition. So that is the reason countries like China, USA, they are not performing well. They are among the worst performers on this index. Then next is Global Cooperative Conference. Cooperatives are basically entities where people pool their resources to get benefited. You might all have heard about Amul. Amul is a cooperative, Anand Milk Union Limited. Farmers in the nearby area, they come, they contribute their milk. Milk is collected, milk is processed, milk is stored in packets, it is sold, milk is converted into butter, milk is converted into curd, milk is converted into cheese, they are sold, and the farmers, according to their contributions, they get their share back. This is how a cooperative works. And India has around 25% of the world's cooperatives. United Nations International Year for Cooperatives 2025, it is going to be observed. And in this conference, which was hosted for the very first time in India, the Prime Minister of India has declared that cooperatives are very much important and essential for social inclusion and poverty reduction. Then we will be dealing with the MCQs based on these three topics, and obviously discussions to the answers of to the questions of yesterday's MCQs. Now, the first is that India's first data bank launched to boost data security, and this data bank is will be using AI, artificial intelligence technology. With the artificial intelligence, information will be picked up from this data bank about all of the criminals, their activities in the digital domain or their activities in the financial domain. By doing this, surveillance will improve. By doing this, law enforcement will improve. So we can obviously categorize this as the correct usage of the technology. Now, in November 2024, Ministry of Science and Technology launched India's first AI data bank aimed at promoting innovation and strengthening country's national security. This initiative provides essential data sets for researchers, developers, and startups, helping them create scalable AI solutions in sectors critical to national development also, apart from security, for these areas also. This marks a significant step in India's efforts to harness the transformative power of AI for both technological advancements and national defense. So, this is how we are putting AI to use. AI is a double-edged sword. We've talked a lot about AI in the past. So, I'm not getting into the basics of AI, but yes, this over here is a productive use of AI. This is an example of a productive use of AI. Now, the key features, objectives and purpose. The AI data bank aims to provide high quality, diverse data sets to support the development of AI models and solutions. This will help researchers, developers design AI applications that can address critical challenges from national security to disaster management to cyber security. And all these are, I would say, emerging threats to any country in the world right now. Specifically, cyber security is needed. The data bank is particularly focused on real-time analytics of satellite data, drone imagery, and Internet of Things data. Internet of Things is basically, if you have to understand, so there are a lot of electrical appliances coming these days, which you can operate through your mobile phone. You have to download an app. So let's suppose you are away from home, you're coming back and you want to switch on the AC. So, your AC will be connected to your Wi-Fi of your house, and you from a distance of from your house, you switch on the AC by going to that app, and it will start operating. And when you come home, you'll find your home to be cooled. Similarly, if you forget to switch off your AC, you can check, and if it is on, you can switch it off. That is Internet of Things. So this AI tool will analyze data from IoT, drone imagery, satellite imagery, and such like. Now, how will it add to enhancing national security? This AI data bank will play a pivotal role in providing or improving national security through the use of AI for predictive analytics. Predictive means for the future, various models can be predictive. Acha, if these things are happening, this can happen. If these things have happened, this can be a possibility. Now, all these kind of possibilities will be given or will be suggested by this AI tool to the security agencies, keeping in mind large data sets or analyzing large data sets. This is what AI can do, and this is how life can be easy for the security agency guys. By processing vast amounts of data in real time, AI can help forecast security threats, assist in defense operations, and improve crisis management as well. One of the core goals is to use AI to enhance real-time monitoring of critical national assets and infrastructure through integration of satellite, drone, and IoT data streams. Launch event and theme. Launch took place at 7th edition of ASSOCHAM AI Leadership Meet 2024. It was centered around the theme of AI for India, advancing India's AI development, innovation, ethics, and governance. Event provided a platform for policymakers, industry leaders, and experts to discuss how India can use AI to solve pressing issues while also ensuring ethical, responsible usage in line with governance and data privacy concerns. Strategic goals of AI in India, what are they? So, AI for development we want to use. We are not running away from AI. We know that the future depends on this particular technology. We also know that it has negative repercussions. So, we are tackling those negative aspects of AI so that we can, future, our future, should be bright. AI is seen as a backbone for driving economic growth, improving public services delivery, tackling climate change, and ensuring national security. Government aims to use AI in disaster management as well, allowing for better preparedness, better predictions, weather prediction models, and all more accurate prediction models and all will be there. So this is the strategic usage of AI: security, disaster management, cyber security, and such like domains. Responsible AI usage. The minister stressed that while AI is a powerful tool, it must be used optimally with responsible handling to avoid misuse and bias. He emphasized that AI should serve to empower citizens, ensuring that the technology bridges divides rather than exacerbating them. And AI governance, if we are talking about, India is focusing on establishing robust frameworks for AI governance, aiming to ensure that AI systems are transparent, fair, and equitable in nature. And efforts are being made to address such challenges like algorithmic bias and data privacy issues. So, algorithmic bias, see these AI tools and all, they pick up information from the large data sets and then, present to you, the information which you are actually seeking. Like you want to predict, whether what will be the security threats in the future uh, because of the current developments which are there. So, that AI tool will be picking up or and analyzing that large data sets. That is the actual technology. Now, what if that or those large data sets are biased? They are not correct. AI does not know that. It is actually, that is why it is actually artificial. But yes, it will pick up and it will present to you. And you are thinking, "Ki, bhai, this has come from AI, so sahi yoga, it will be right, it will be accurate. Machine is telling me this." And you start believing on that. That is not the fact. That is not true. So this algorithmic bias can be there, which can create false perceptions. And these false perceptions can create a lot of problems. Then impact on key sectors. It is having transformative impact on multiple sectors, including governance is the first, streamlining decision making, improving transparency, increasing citizen engagement. Second is healthcare, enabling better diagnostic tools, personalized medicine, and healthcare management. Third is education, facilitating personalized learning, smart classrooms, and more efficient educational systems. Next is space exploration. AI can help analyze space domain also. So, all these are areas which will be under focus. Long term vision is that this data bank is part of India's broader vision to become a global leader in AI innovation. And since this technology is evolving right now, so we need to focus upon this in the very beginning. If we do that, we can become global leaders in that. This information and communication technology, America started focusing upon in the 1950s, from 1950s onwards, we can say, and now it is a global leader in that. Now, when this technology is coming up, it is developing, it is evolving, it is the right time to focus on that. And that is the ultimate vision of India, so that we will not have to be dependent upon other countries in the future. Other countries should be dependent upon us. Government's strategic roadmap envisions AI as a key driver of national progress, capable of solving complex societal problems while enhancing security and economic development. Government is committed to inclusive AI. Inclusive AI means it should not only be limited and impacting the very few, the elite, but it should be impacting one and all. And that is what the vision is. Equitable access means the more vulnerable group or the more vulnerable section of the society have more better access of this technology. Challenges and future outlook. If I talk about development of AI technologies in India, face several challenges, including the need for data privacy safeguards, ethical considerations, and ensuring that AI systems are used in transparent and inclusive manner. As AI continues to evolve, India is positioning itself as a key player in the global AI ecosystem, balancing innovation with responsibility. Next is Climate Change Performance Index. So this Climate Change Performance Index was released during the COP29 of UNFCCC, and COP29 of UNFCCC was in Baku. COP28 UAE and Dubai it was there in, and when COP28 was there, India's position was 8th on this particular index and now it is 10th. It has slipped 2 positions, but yes, it is in top 10. That is what we need to understand, that despite dropping 2 places from the previous year, India remains among the top 10 climate performers due to its low per capita emissions and rapid expansion of renewable energy in the country. Currently, around 40 to 45% of India's energy is coming from non-fossil based fuels. We have met our climate targets 9 years in advance almost. Not all, but yes, most of them. So yes, India's performance is good. Now, the key highlights of this CCPI report, it assesses climate performance of over 60 countries, accounting for 90% of global emissions. So these 60 countries are responsible for 90% of the global emissions, and India has been ranked 10th, maintaining its position as a high performer in climate action. Denmark topped the rankings, but yes, the first 3 positions, no one was there. Denmark was there at the 4th position. Why? Because nobody was able to meet the criteria to be labeled over here on first, second, and third. But the first 3 positions were left empty as no country performed well enough across categories to achieve a very high rating. Then, 5th position, Netherlands and UK. They were there, with UK making significant strides due to its coal phase out and renewable energy expansion. The UK earlier was not there on the 5th position, but now UK has been there along with Netherlands because UK has decided to phase out coal, means it will not be using coal. China, the world's largest emitter, ranked 55th, and United States, the second largest emitter, was placed at 57th, both scoring poorly due to their heavy reliance on coal and a lack of ambitious climate targets. Now, India's performance. India's rank dropped by 2 positions compared to the previous year, but the country still remains a strong performer due to its low per capita emissions and focus on renewable energy. We've seen that. Per capita emissions in India, 2.9 tons of CO2 equivalent. TCO2e it is called as. And this 2.9 tons of CO2 equivalent is less than the global average. The global average is 6.6 tons CO2 emissions or equivalent, sorry. India, being the world's third largest greenhouse gas emitter, has set an ambitious goal to achieve net zero emissions by 2070. Net zero means the amount of emissions we are doing should be equal to the amount of emissions we are taking in, sinking in. Now see, the largest emitter China, second largest emitter USA. These both countries are not performing well on this particular index. The third largest emitter India is performing well on this particular index due to two reasons: low per capita emissions, and second, our shift towards adoption of green energy. Progress in renewable energy and climate policy. India has made substantial progress in its renewable energy sector, with large scale solar projects and initiatives like rooftop solar scheme gaining momentum. Energy efficiency standards have been introduced, although the report notes that coverage of these standards is still insufficient. So we need to work on these energy efficient standards. And very recently, UAE has launched that energy efficiency. I would say global body which it has launched. So we can take advantage of that as well. India has also made strides in electric vehicles. A lot of electric vehicles, particularly with two-wheelers, they are plying on Indian roads. No doubt about the fact that they are malfunctioning also. No doubt about the fact that companies like Ola, they are coming in a lot of limelight due to these wrong reasons as well. But yes, you know, the number of EVs on the Indian roads are substantially large as compared to the earlier times. Now, the challenges faced by India, though despite progress in renewables and energy efficiency, India remains heavily dependent on coal for its energy needs. So, we are dependent upon coal. Around 55% of our energy is coming from burning coal, and we are not in favor of phasing it out. We are in favor of gradually reducing it. The country is one of the largest coal producers in the world and continues to expand its coal production. Report notes that India's growth-oriented climate approach is likely to continue due to its rising energy demand given by industrial growth. So it is very easy and it is good to hear that renewable energy is good and all. Okay, it is good, no doubt about this fact. There are no pollutions, but for producing renewable energy, you need vast amount of land first of all. Solar panels, where will you install? And after that, the energy which is being produced, where will you store that energy? Because you will only be able to produce energy during the daytime. Where will you store that? That storage infrastructure, the batteries, they are hugely expensive. They are the major cost. And India, being a developing country, has its own constraints with respect to this particular infrastructure. So that is there. The global climate performance, Denmark ranked fourth, emerged as the leading performer with the robust climate policy focused on sustainable energy, carbon reduction, green technologies, and such like. Netherlands ranked fifth, benefiting from its comprehensive approach to climate policy, energy transition, and climate targets. UK made a significant improvement because it has decided to stop fossil fuel licenses, means it is phasing out these fossil fuels. The worst performance, the four lowest ranked countries in CCPI are Iran, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Russia. These four, out of these four, three are in West Asia, the oil producing countries. Global trends and regional observations. China and the US, despite making some progress in climate policy, remain among the lowest performers due to their dependence on fossil fuels, particularly coal. Both countries have ambitious plans but are struggling to implement significant climate actions at the required scale. And with Donald Trump at the helm of affairs, who calls climate change as a hoax, as a false concept, I don't know what the next 4 years America is looking at with respect to climate change. We all will get to know with time. The global average for emissions per capita is much higher than India's, with the country continuing to lead in terms of low carbon emissions relative to its population size. The population is the highest, the per capita is low. Future outlook for India's climate actions, if we talk about, India's commitment to tackling climate change will continue to evolve. Sustainable development, renewable energy expansion, and energy efficiency we will be focusing upon. But yes, we need money from the developed countries. We don't have that much money. Despite being a developing country who has not contributed or neither is contributing much in global warming, we are taking, adequate measures, more than adequate measures, I would say. But yes, where we are lacking, we should be supported. Given its economic growth trajectory and energy demand, India's climate policies will need to balance development and environment sustainability in the coming years. The goal of net zero by 2070 and 500 gigawatt renewable capacity by 2030 signals a long-term vision. But yes, this long-term vision will be sustainable only and only if things are implemented in time and climate finance availability is there. I'm too much focusing upon climate finance because yes, that is something which we need, and if this is not available, the developed countries have to give it. There can be a different story. India might not rely, or India might slow down its transition towards clean energy. And the last piece of news is the Global Cooperative Conference. This Global Cooperative Conference, the International Cooperative Alliance Global Conference in Delhi was conducted or is being conducted now November 25 to 30, 2024. The cooperatives, where people cooperate, pool their resources in order to do some economic activity, and in return, they get the profits. Like Amul, I gave you that example, is a cooperative. And there are many other, I would say, cooperatives in various domains. Like in banking domain, there are cooperatives. In manufacturing, there are cooperatives. In real estate, there are cooperatives. So multiple domains you can find cooperatives. India has 25% of the global cooperatives. More than 8 lakh cooperatives are existing in India in the current scenario. So this marks the first time in 130-year history of ICA that conference will be held in India. That is, I would say, kind of not a fact which we cannot be so much proud of. So it is like this. The event, organized with the initiative of IFCO, Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited, will feature around 3,000 delegates, including representatives from over 100 countries with 1,000 foreign delegates. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch United Nations International Year of Cooperatives 2025 at this event, underscoring the significance of the global cooperative movement. Key participants: conference will see the participation of around 3,000 delegates, including 1,000 foreign delegates from over 100 countries. Notable international figures attending the event include Bhutan Prime Minister Dasho Shering Togbe, Fiji Deputy Prime Minister Manoa Kamikamika. Union Cooperation Minister Amit Shah will chair the inaugural session of the conference as chief guest on November 25, 2024. Pakistan's participation is questionable because there are cooperatives in Pakistan also, but when this question was talked about or asked about Pakistan's participation, the Secretary Ashish Kumar Bhutani said that over 100 countries have confirmed their participation. Some countries require protocol approvals from Ministry of External Affairs. Specific details regarding participation of Pakistani representatives were not clarified, though it was indicated that protocols were being followed for such cases. So we can see Pakistan is also participating in this. The theme of the conference was Cooperatives Build Prosperity for All. Sub-themes: enabling policy and entrepreneurial ecosystems, nurturing purposeful leadership to create purposeful prosperity for all, reaffirming the cooperative identity, and shaping the future towards realizing prosperity for all in the 21st century. So, broader theme: cooperatives build prosperity for all. Yes, they do. They are very much instrumental in impacting positively on poverty reduction, inclusive development, and such like. Now, India's role in the global cooperatives movement. Around 8 lakh cooperatives, making a leader in the global cooperative sector. There are in India. Cooperation Secretary Ashish Kumar Bhutani said that 25% of the world's cooperatives are based in India, showcasing the country's vital role in movement. Conference will provide a platform for India's cooperative sector to demonstrate its strength, capabilities, and the potential for future growth. So significance of this event is this, that more and more international collaboration can be done with our I would say cooperatives. Like for example, Amul can find markets elsewhere as well and can establish it as a brand, as a global brand. Likewise, other cooperatives which are operating in and around the world, they can come and start their operations in India if they find India as a lucrative market. But yes, primary focus will be that our cooperatives, expand their presence globally. So this is going to contribute very positively in our economy. I would say more positively in our economy. So the government is doing, all the things which it should be doing actually, and it is now the job of the people to respond, because these cooperatives, people are making these cooperatives, and people will only make these cooperatives run efficiently and smoothly. Now, coming to the MCQs. First, which ministry has launched Artificial Intelligence Data Bank aimed at promoting innovation and strengthening the country's national security? Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Science and Technology, or none of the above? Second, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. India is the world's third largest emitter. The per capita carbon emissions from India are above the world average. Which of these statements is correct? Third, which country was the worst performer on climate change performance index? Azerbaijan, UAE, Iran, or Saudi Arabia? Fourth, what was the theme of International Cooperative Alliance Global Conference 2024? Cooperatives for Sustainable Development, Cooperatives for Inclusive Development, Cooperatives Build Prosperity for All, or none of the above. And fifth, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. The year 2024 is United Nations International Year of Cooperatives. Cooperatives can have a positive impact on poverty reduction. Which of these statements is correct? Now coming to the MCQs. Which country hosted COP28 of UNFCCC? It was UAE, Dubai. So Azerbaijan COP29, Egypt 28 it is, Egypt COP27, China earlier COPs it has hosted, but yes, B is going to the correct answer. COP28 2023 was in Dubai. Second, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. Energy efficiency includes eliminating energy waste. Yes. And energy efficiency can lead to reduced carbon emissions. Obviously, yes. This was very simple. Both 1 and 2 are going to be the correct option. Third, which of the following is a feature of Global Energy Efficiency Alliance, which was launched by UAE in COP29 of UNFCCC? It will foster public-private partnership. Yes, it has talked about doing that. It aims at building global standards for energy efficiency. Yes, global standards it is also talking about. And it includes an element of equity. Equity means focusing more on the more vulnerable. So they're talking about, focusing more on African countries where a lot of, energy wastage is there and lack of energy is also there. So they are more vulnerable. So this is also correct. If you know the essence and if you know the meaning of this word equity, so you can connect it with its special focus on Africa. So all of the above are correct options for this particular question. Fourth, which of these countries is not part of International Criminal Court? Very simple, it was USA, because we have been talking about it during our video. Fifth question, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. ICC can prosecute individuals from member states only. No, this is not true. Netanyahu has been, prosecuted. Israel is not a member state. Earlier last year, Vladimir Putin was prosecuted. Russia is also not part of ICC. So this statement is wrong. It is headquartered in The Hague, Netherlands. Yes. The other global court, that is ICJ, International Court of Justice, is also headquartered in The Hague, Netherlands. So this statement is correct. The first one is wrong. So only 2 is going to be the correct answer. And with this, we have come to an end of today's session. I will be seeing you tomorrow now with more such informative news pieces. Till then, you guys very well know what to do. I'm not repeating it today. Namaste. Jai Hind.